The killing of badgers in the Lincolnshire countryside in a cull backed by the government is already causing outrage before the plans are even finalised. The government believes that badgers pass TB to cows and some other parts of the country are already controlling their numbers. But in Lincolnshire, a small band of badger defenders are forming to protect a creature that's an ancient symbol of the British countryside. Our Rural Affairs correspondent Lindsay Smith has more.
High vis, torch and sheer determination. Christine Williams is ready to patrol Lincolnshire's dark country roads if it's announced that badgers are to be shot here for the first time.
I'm organising a wounded badger patrol for when the cull actually starts. We'll be meeting on public footpaths wearing high vis, taking torches and whistles and keeping an eye out for any wounded badgers that the shooters have shot and that are running off injured. I just love animals, I love badgers, and I don't agree with the government decision to kill them.
Badgers are a protected species and watching them and photographing them has brought much joy to some in lockdown. Harming a badger can land you in prison. But DEFRA tells us badgers spread tuberculosis. 30,000 cattle a year are slaughtered after testing positive for the disease. And DEFRA says that causes devastation and distress for farmers.
But it's very difficult to get a farmer in Lincolnshire to talk about bovine TB, simply because there's been so few cases.
This map shows Lincolnshire is not a high-risk area or an edge area. It's classed as low risk, which is why culling badgers here is so controversial.
We're not convinced that it's endemic in the population of badgers, particularly in Lincolnshire. We don't believe it's the cause of most of the outbreaks of bovine TB. We worked with the NFU only a few years ago when it became an issue, and the statement then was that bovine TB will arrive in the back of a truck. And we still think that, and I think that many farmers will understand that it's likely to be spread more from cattle to cattle rather than from a wild vector like the badger.
At a time of human pandemic, we know the importance of taking action against infectious diseases. DEFRA has told us that vaccines remain a part of their plan. They intend to phase out culling. In the meantime, the shooting of this protected species divides opinion, divides communities. Farmers fearing TB, activists fighting the cull. In reality, do you think you'll be able to save many of them?
I don't think so. We're hoping we can.
Well, joining me on this one is Dominic Dyer from the Badger Trust and also Dr. Graham Botley, who's an immunologist and also a farmer. First of all, Dominic Dyer, do you accept that badgers are the greatest animal threat to the UK, causing devastation for farmers?
No, I think it's the other way around, actually. I think cattle, farming in this country is a form of industrial pollution that pours TB into badgers, into domestic dogs and cats, deer, foxes, rats, and many other animals. It's not the badger to blame. 95% of infection in terms of cattle herds is from cow to cow. The badger is being demonised, and I'm afraid most of the badgers being killed under this cull policy don't have TB at all, and their removal will have no impact on lowering the disease whatsoever.
OK, Dr. Botley, do you accept that, and does culling work?
Culling absolutely works. Most of what Dominic said there was actually incorrect. Although most of the transmission is from cow to cow, badgers are a major problem because they are highly susceptible to bovine TB. They spread it very readily. And if you eliminate it from a cattle herd and have contaminated badgers, you will have a contaminated herd again very, very quickly. Until the badgers are dealt with, it can never be eliminated from the system.
Figures show where there has been a badger cull, like in Gloucestershire, there was a 66% reduction in bovine TB. That's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
The same study showed in Dorset 3 years of intensive badger culling didn't make any difference for lowering bovine TB in cattle. And a year after that study was completed, we saw a 130% increase in TB incidence in Gloucestershire. So, no, it doesn't show that it is working. There's more holes in the Swiss cheese in that study, I'm afraid. And also, we should not buy into this argument that badgers can easily spread TB to cattle. Okay. We've got lots of satellite-collared good data to show that actually they avoid cattle largely in pasture areas and farm yards as well.
Dr. Botley, do you want to come back on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 130% increase has to be taken as a scientific fact. And this is one of the problems with trying to interpret scientific data by non-scientists. If you have one infected animal and you go to 2 infected animals, that's 100% increase. It sounds a lot, but it's not a lot if you're starting from a low value. That's one thing. Secondly, there's a huge amount of evidence, especially genetic evidence, showing that badgers do spread to cows. This is not a scientific question. This is a scientific fact. Badgers do spread to cows, and that is proven, and that cannot be argued.
The government has spent probably £70 million of taxpayers' money killing 102,000 badgers since 2013. Of that number of badgers, only 920 have actually been tested for TB. And of that number of badgers, only 5% of those actually have the level of disease where they could spread it to other badgers and potentially cattle. So the vast majority of badgers that are being killed do not have TB, and their removal made no difference whatsoever. The problem is in cattle, and that's where you have to address it.
I think we could talk about this for a very long time. We haven't got the time. Dominic, Dyer, and also Dr. Graham Botley, thank you both for coming on tonight. Wish you well.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, Dominic Dyer is from the Badger Trust. Dr. Graham Botley is a farmer and immunologist. Well, you've heard the experts there. What do you think? Should badgers be killed to prevent the spread of bovine TB? Or do you think that other measures should be used, like vaccination? Maybe you're a farmer who's watching, who's seen the impact of TB. Maybe you love badgers and want to protect them. Tell me what you think. Here's how to get in touch. We'll have some later in the programme. Should there be a badger cull or not? The email address is looknorth@bbc.co.uk. Text number 81333. Start the text with the word Look North as ever, or follow me on Twitter and tweet now. Look forward to hearing from you.